All right, so today we are on our second round of lesson 14 and 15 there. So let's dive into the quizzes because there's quite a bit there. And then so question, how many have you watched lesson 15? It was part of the homework assignment to just watch it for the first time through. But if you haven't, that's totally fine. Just kind of wondering where
I
we're at.
watched I watched it once.
Okay.
That
So we've
was
got
it.
a little bit of a introduction to it, so it's not gonna be totally new. I showed it to my mom last night. Oh man, another one.
Oh,
She's
I know.
14. Wonder where she's at today, but anyway. All right. This is our quiz here.
מים,
So
מים,
water in the hands.
Yep. So this quiz is probably the most confusing because I mean there's mime in lots of different places. But this one is the black arrow in the water in the hand. This one is referring to the sea, and then this one is referring to the face of the waters. And then here we got with our sky, this one is referring directly to the sun versus this one, which is just sky, even though there happens to be clouds in it. But anyway, just throwing that out there for anyone watching the recordings later. So mime is achat here.
يريح,
Yarea.
Arba.
Arba. So let's do a fun pop quiz. I didn't even think about this beforehand, but how would we say the moon in front of the sun
Oh,
in honor of the eclipse today?
May. Okay. Uh, take it away, Jeanette.
Oh yeah. Um, let's see. What was sun again? Shemesh.
Mhm.
Let's see. So now in front. In front, I cannot
I
remember.
can help Leafney. I can do that one.
Okay. So Ariach, Lifnei, Shemesh.
Yep. So that would be moon in front of sun. And if we wanted to put articles in front of it, we would say ha yareach lifnei ha shemesh. Yep. Yeah, I
Good job.
didn't even think about that connection that we'd be studying
Yeah.
moon and sun today.
That's pretty cool. Perfect timing.
Yep. So yareach is arba.
بني هמים,
Achat.
Achat. Pnei hamaim, the face
The
of
lips, the lips of the sea.
That one's the face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the face. Yeah, that's better.
شمايم,
Shamaim.
That's the sky.
Hmm.
Um,
So we've got
That's
this one.
Arba.
oh,
And so also to describe this one, because this one I would have thought would be sun as well, but this bottom left is sun and the top left is for day, representing day.
oh.
But yeah.
Hey, remind me, I blanked. What is 6?
The number 6 in Hebrew?
Yeah, number 6. Sorry, what?
Shesh.
Oh, shesh. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
عنان,
On
Hot.
hot clouds.
شمش,
Shemesh.
That's the sun.
يوم,
Day.
So that's
Number 3.
Day.
يام,
Water. Ocean.
wait. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, yum.
Did I do it wrong?
No, you didn't. I just confused myself for a second. I'm good.
That's I'm glad that they put it in the exact same lesson so that we could see them back to back.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I just blanked.
Yom is day or sorry, Yom is day, Yam is day.
I
Yom.
keep forgetting yam,
Mm-hmm.
that's C.
Yep.
Yum, yum is when it tastes like nicely.
Yep.
But the ocean is salted, so it's not tasting that good.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to
I just
to
need to remember or pick, like recall them. Hayam Hagado.
Mhm.
That will.
Yeah, and when we start learning the different feast days, so we have like Yom Kippur
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so Yom versus Yam.
Yum
Yeah.
is thick.
And so this one
ים,
Remember
דגת
that.
הים,
Dagat Hayam,
Oh.
The fish in the sea.
fish in the sea. Dagat Hayam.
That was a question I was going to ask
Mhm.
before you move on. The Gat Hayam and the Ulf.
Off is birds.
Yeah, and then the Ulf. What is it? I'm just blanking. Not Shemish.
Shamayim.
Shemaim. So Hashemayim.
Mhm.
So they're not saying in though, right? They're just saying fish, the sea, and birds, the
Right.
sky. So is there a reason for that? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's in its construct form, and so it's actually saying of.
Oh,
So the
that's
fish
right.
of the sea or the birds of the air.
That's right. Yeah. Because
Just remember, they cannot talk well.
what?
I said, just remember, they cannot talk well. They
Yeah.
talk like little kids.
That makes sense though, because she was emphasizing that aspect of the dog, the god, the goat, or the
Mhm.
gay. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So, when we have a T at the end of a word so that it puts it in its construct form, what does that indicate to us? Is it singular or plural, and is it masculine or feminine?
Feminine plural.
Close.
No?
Feminine singular.
Or single.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's got like Parat Yosef, Parat. So it adds that T at the end, or the Tav, I guess. We should use our correct uh, letters. But when we add that t sound at the end, it's a singular feminine. So we have
So not
dog or daga,
okay.
and then we put it into its construct form. So we're still talking about a singular group of fish. I mean, it's just kind of one of those grammatical exceptions, but
Hmm.
yeah, it's in that.
So they kind of say fish like we say fish. We don't
Yeah,
like it stays in a singular form, but it's plural.
yeah.
Or
Depending on its context, you just have to kind of know.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so hard for me because we have fish and fishson for plural.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
So,
Yeah.
so I want to say fishes or fishes or something,
Yep.
I have a
It
hard
was
time with
still, luckily it still makes sense.
Yep. Exactly. And so, off Rav. So off is singular, and I mean it's technically in its construct form, but it doesn't really change. It doesn't add the T at the end or anything like that. It's just we just assume the construct form. So as we take a look at the grammar lesson, we'll see a little bit more about that one. It's just really weird, but yeah, we're talking about
that one just stays the same, even if you are saying birds.
yeah, you would just say off. Off. Yep.
Does that start with an ayin?
Yep.
Okay. I was
Off.
trying to figure it it sounds like that. Okay.
Yeah. Ayin with a holam over top of it. And then the
Faye.
Hey, yeah. My brain circuited. Wanted to say F. Off. Shamayim.
Oh, cute.
דגת הים,
Gat Hayam.
שפת הים,
Safat
Oh
Hayam.
my gosh, I just blanked what 3 is now. Lost my numbers.
Yeah. So Ahat,
Time.
Taim, Shalosh,
Ah, shalom.
Arba, Chamesh, and Shesh.
Okay.
לילה,
Night,
Night.
night.
נחש,
Good time.
That's the steak.
Yep.
כלב,
Should time.
That's the dog.
עוף
Okay,
השמיים,
you come. I cannot.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So one exercise that we did, or we're starting to do, me and my mom, is that after we get done with the quiz, then we come through these ones and try to name them off without hearing them ahead
Oh.
of time.
It's a
And
good
so,
idea.
kind of working through them. We won't do it necessarily today with all of the quizzes, but I think that that's helpful so that we get practice hearing it, but we also get practice speaking it, trying to come up with the words. So when you're doing quizzes, it's kind of good to do it both ways.
Ah.
And then if you want to quiz yourself afterward, each of them on this final page has the
ירח,
button that you can double check and make sure that you were right, kind of a thing.
I love that idea. Because it's always harder for me to recall the name
Mm-hmm.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yesh maim bakad, ein maim bakad.
Yes.
Yes.
Yesh maim bakad. And did we talk about like existence and everything last week? I think so.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you're explaining.
yes
Yes.
and ein are more than just
Yes.
full and empty and yes or no kind of a thing. They denote the existence. So does there exist water in this jar versus no, water does not exist in this jar kind of a thing. But yeah, so ein maim bakad. Yesh bakos maim.
Of course, mine.
Ein bakos maim.
Yes.
Yesh. This one.
Oh,
Ein bakos maim.
And that's
how come
Yeah.
they don't use low and can?
Sorry, what was that?
How come they do not use low and can?
So Lo and Ken are going to be specifically yes and no, versus this that we're taking a look at a specific clause in the Bible, talking about existence. And so technically, on a simpler level, we could say Ken, like, is there water in this? We could say Ken as a yes response. But trying to get some of the practice with the yesh or ein for existence. So yesh, as we do continue on in further lessons, they start kind of breaking them out so that we can see when we would use one versus the other. But yes, you could use ken and lo in both of these. So we've got yesh basade isha, yesh yarea bashamayim.
Isha.
yes.
Yesh basade isha.
Yep.
Ein nara lifnei chabait. Ein par basade. This one's a tricky one because I mean it's neither.
In
In
the distance,
par-
there's a habayit, a
Yeah.
house. Oh,
Mm-hmm. And then this one is tzadeh.
In par pasare.
Yeah. Ein par basade. Yesh yarea bashamayim. Yesh shemesh va'anan bashamayim.
Yes. Yarea. Ba shemesh.
Bashamayim.
Or shemaim.
Mhm.
Shemesh.
Yeah, Shemesh and Shemaim are like some of the most confusing things.
In the sky. Okay.
Yesh Shemesh va'anan b'shamayim. Yesh b'yad Avram nachash.
Avram is not in the picture.
Yep.
It's the first one.
Yesh Shemesh va'anan b'shamayim. Ein nara livnei chabayit. Ein, let's see, what do we got? Batim bamidbar. You can see how well I'm doing it. Sight reading. So, Ein nara livnei chabayit. Ein batim bamidbar.
And the first one.
Ein bakos maim. Ein habayit, or sorry, ein batim bamidbar.
In Batim Bamidbar.
Very good.
Yesh ba, let's see, basade isha. Yesh bayad Avram nachash.
Uh,
Yeah.
Nachash.
Avram Nachash.
Excellent. And so this would be an excellent one to go through this screen here and try to say them, not necessarily with looking at them, but trying to say those different yes and no clauses. All right. So
Para.
para.
It was just para.
Yep. Para.
Chametz.
Yeah.
כבשים רבים.
Ah.
Kevasim.
Shemesh? Not
Many,
Shemesh.
many
Uh,
sheep.
Mhm.
Not, why did I say Shemesh?
Ish.
Oh my gosh.
Ish.
Man.
אנשים רבים.
Anashim rabim.
They're all those people.
דברים רבים.
Devarim rabim.
And the cows.
That would be parot rabot. So this one is
Oh.
devarim rabim, which is really confusing, but it comes from the previous lesson when they talked about these ones. For some reason, they're calling bite devar, which means thing. So when we were talking about lots of things on a page, yeah, it's really confusing.
So the Rabim, is it?
Mhm.
That is
Ma-
just like a group,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So
it's many.
something?
yeah, so many. It has to deal with counting, but you're counting beyond what you want to actually number. And so if we were to say all of them, we would say kol hasusim or whatever. But here we're just saying the bunch of cows or the bunch of words or a whole bunch of them. In English, at least, that's kind of how we translate this same rabim.
And remind me what there was a difference between Rabim and then what
Rabot.
was the word for kevis?
Kevasim rabim.
Oh, there was one that I thought they were using different words, but maybe they were just different forms.
Yeah, so we've got rabim, rabot, rav.
Okay, that makes sense. I was kind of struggling to get that one.
דבר.
Davar.
Is it the bite?
Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but
מים.
mime
Shitaim?
time
עז.
is
Oh,
The goat.
chametz.
סוס,
Arba.
The horse.
כבש,
Shitaim?
Very good.
פרות רבות.
Arba.
ארץ.
Eretz.
It's the land.
Ish.
Yep.
Oh,
סוסים רבים.
Susim.
Shitime.
מים רבים.
Maim Rabim.
Lots of water.
ארצות רבות.
Sot Rabot.
Yeah,
Sot.
that one.
עזים רבות.
Countries.
And so let me play that one again because this one's the grammatical exception, right?
עזים רבות.
Rab-
Im Rabot. So singular is feminine. Well, I guess ayez is feminine. But we plural in the masculine, but the rabot maintains that feminine. So it gets kind of confusing. Zim rabot.
Goats.
All right.
צאן. צאן.
I don't
Now,
know.
I had a little bit difficulty with that word son.
Mhm.
Be-
Yeah,
Because
let's take a look at how it's spelled.
yeah, it's Tzon, but
Oh yeah.
they use it for sheep and goats. So is the word translated as animals or as whatever you call it in English? Not
Yes.
cattle.
That was one of my questions as well. And so let's see, where are we at? 5:15. Okay, so we learned two more collective nouns in this lesson, again referring to groups of animals, Tson and Bakar. They are in singular form, and they're almost always referring to a plural type of group. Tson is typically translated into English as flocks, and it includes sheep, goats, rams, etc. So flock would be the best equivalent English word. And then bakar is usually translated as cattle, but it can also be herds. And so it includes cows, bulls, and oxen.
So what was the difference? What's the difference? I think that's where I started getting confused. What's the difference between those? What was
Between
that?
Tson and bakar,
Well, no.
or
Was
Like
it
a flock.
Picard we were just saying? Maybe that's what. Never mind. I think okay. It probably was Picard that we were saying. I was thinking there was another word, but yeah, I didn't read through this apparently.
oh no, you're good. Yeah, because we're just listening to lesson 15, so I don't expect that we're fully into the grammar yet. But that was one that I was like, I don't know, I was just guessing for quite a while what the heck these things were, but just
Yeah, I was confused because they used in the picture they always had the sheep and the goats. I thought, now what is it now? Is it now sheep or goats? And so I used it as animals, but that is incorrect. That it has to be flocks.
yeah. So anything that includes a flock, and it could include just goats, just sheep, or a mixture of sheep and goats.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So
עוף רב.
Oth Rav.
The birds in the sky.
So Oth Rav just talks about a group of birds. So it can be all the different species of birds. Oth Rav.
נהר.
Nahar.
That's that little stream. Well, yeah, mountain
It's-
stream, I call it.
It's the river. Yeah.
Just a second, let me play it again.
נהר.
Nahar. So this one ends in the R sound. So this one is Nahar.
Oh, it's the river?
Yeah.
So the river ends in an R, and the stream or the wadi ends in an L.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, no,
so
And
it's river
the
and
stress is
stream?
different.
and stream.
Oh, I was thinking, that's funny. It seemed like every time they said the other one, it was like in a ravine. So
Uh-huh.
it's like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe there's a difference. Maybe it's the like elevation or the
Well, I called it a mountain stream
wadis.
because of it, and I didn't know for sure what I should call it, but it seems to be it's just stream.
So it's more to do with like the amount of the water, not
Uh-huh. Yeah, if it's
Okay.
a really wide thing versus a really thin
okay.
looking thing. So yeah, that's where I found this really interesting in the grammar lesson as well. It says there are two words for waterways that sound a bit similar but refer to different types. Nahar, that ends in the R sound, refers to a large river like the Jordan. And Nahal is a torrent of rushing water, a stream, or a wadi. A wadi, like the picture on the right, is a stream that flows deep in desert ravines and may dry up and disappear seasonally.
Oh,
Nahal or Nahal can refer to the stream of water or to the dry stream bed at the bottom of a ravine. Wadis are common in the desert mountains to either side of the Jordan River Valley. So if you've ever heard of like the Wadi Kelt, that's like the area where there's lots of wadis.
Hmm.
But
That
yeah, let
makes
me zoom in on this.
Now,
So that you can-
is there an other word still for creek?
Not that I'm aware of yet. It may come up in further lessons, but I haven't come across one yet. At least
It
in a
does
biblical context.
seem to be connected with a ravine.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because in like United States, we don't really have a lot of these, but they're very common there, and so this is their word for that. But our closest equivalent would be kind of like a stream because it's kind of the amount of water. But yeah, as we're learning and taking a look in a biblical context, we're going to want to make sure that this is the image that comes to mind when we're talking about Nahal.
So it's not a wash. Because I'm so confused. You guys have too many words for stuff.
It
Yep.
probably, I think a wash is actually appropriate because a wash is where water will come down, a place where water consistently comes down, but it will dry up, right?
Mhm.
So it
Right.
is that what
Yeah, wash is probably a pretty
yeah,
good
I
word.
think a wash would probably be appropriate for it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So, one thing to note is where the accent comes in these. So, nahar, har is the second syllable, and nahal, it's the stress on the first syllable. So, yes, they do end in different letters, but at the same time, the stress is different, and we have to kind of pay attention to that as we're listening as well. Anyway, I thought that was interesting with the grammar lesson to kind of distinguish the two.
Mm.
So this one,
Nahar,
nahar, it's going to
Okay,
be
that's the river.
Daga Rabah,
Well,
garaba.
that's that fish.
Nahal,
Oh, that's the little stream. Gives that
Bakar.
little stream.
Gar.
That's the cows.
Yeah.
Yes, great job.
That's right.
And I'm just going to skip this one because it's basically just going through birds and fish. And this one's pretty easy too, but basically it's bakar or tson. And I think we've kind of discussed the difference there. So tson,
The car.
bakar, bakar, tson,
So
tson, bakar. And those things are monstrous. Look at that. Tson, bakar. All right.
Yamsuf,
All right. So this is where I think it really gets fun. I don't know what I must be like a geography nerd, I guess, because I find learning the names of all these things fun. So
Yam Suf,
Uh-huh.
Yam Suf.
Now, what does soup stand for? Which lake is that?
So it's the Red Sea in English.
Red-
Suf, I was incorrect last time. So Suf is the word for reed. So Yam Suf is the Reed Sea in this context.
Interesting.
Reed as reed that grows by the side.
Yep.
How do you write that in English?
Reed.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because in Dutch is RIET. So,
Oh,
Oh,
really?
okay.
interesting.
Yeah. And then we've kind of perverted it and called it the Red Sea, which is kind of weird. But the Reed Sea, Yam Suf,
Hayarden,
Oh,
Hayarden.
that's Khamish, right?
Uh-huh.
Hey,
So Hayarden refers to the Jordan.
yeah. Do we call it the stupid question? Do
Mhm.
we call it the Red Sea because Moses turned it to blood? The water.
That's what the English has, yeah. That's
Okay,
why
that
it's
just
called the Red Sea.
dawned on me. Oh my heavens.
But yeah, we're some of the only ones that call it Red Sea. Everybody calls it Reed Sea.
I mean, at least it still has like, meaning.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. So
Read, red. Sorry, I'm just like thinking of this word. I'll get over it. Okay.
oh, you're good. But yeah, so Hayarden, the so we're talking about an article in front of the noun. So Ha Yarden. So Jordan would be Yarden. And so that's going to apply to the Nile as well. Ha Yarden, the Nile or the Jordan.
Just the Jordan, not the
Mhm.
Jordan River.
You would very rarely hear it called the Jordan River. It's just called the Jordan or the Nile.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the Jordan River,
Yep.
Yeah.
and I don't live too far from the Jordan River, so
Yeah. And get a new temple. And then if you wanted to put the river, you would say the River Jordan. So yeah. Ha Nahar Yarden.
Eretz Mitzrayim,
Eretz Mitzrayim.
The Shesh, is it?
Shesh.
the land of Egypt,
Yep. When
right?
I first heard Mitzrayim, I was like, what? It's not called Egypt. I knew that it wouldn't be called Egypt, but I didn't know that it would be that different.
Yes.
Mitzrayim is very interesting to me. Mitzrayim, the land of Israel.
Yam HaMelach,
Yam HaMelach.
Oh, Yam. Oh, that's the Shesh?
That's water.
Or
It was-
not Shesh. Come on. Help me out. What's number 6?
Shesh would be 6.
Oh,
but
okay. But it's not that one. It's the
Hamesh.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So we've got Yam HaMelach means
Oh.
melach is salt. And melech is king. And so sometimes it's also called the King Sea, but it's called the Sea of Salt. Yam HaMelach.
Hayam Hagadol,
The big sea.
See,
Yam HaGadol.
Eretz Yisrael,
Arba.
land of
Yerushalayim,
Jerusalem.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. I'm not sure I've ever heard Jerusalem said.
Yeah.
Jerusalem.
Yerushalayim.
Okay.
Jerusalem, Jerusalem. There's a song.
Oh,
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
But yeah, so that one's interesting. We'll learn kind of some of the etymology of that word as it comes along, but we know that it ends in im, right? Yerushalayim. So it's a plural of peace.
Hayeor.
Oh, yeah, I had trouble with that one.
Right.
I did not know what that is. Hi.
It's the Nile.
So
River.
ha would be the article, the, in front of the word.
Yeah.
Ha.
But Yaor, what is Yaor?
Yaor is Nile.
oh,
Oh, the Nile. Okay.
Ha.
Arlene got it.
Yaor. The Nile.
Yam Kineret.
Oh, is that Arba? No, that's the one. That's Ahat.
Uh-huh. Yep. So Kinneret would be
Yeah.
Hamelach,
You just
and Yam Kinneret is Achat.
And what does it translate into? Kimmeret.
I'm in Sea of Galilee.
Oh, Galilee. Okay.
Mhm. But yeah, the English just made that word up. It never was known as Galilee.
Okay.
And yeah, have we done all 5? I guess we did. Well, I guess we skipped one, but anyway, taking a look at these different rivers, streams, wadis, etc. So in the lesson script, I find their graphics helpful to kind of take a look at these. So we've got Nahar, and then we've got Nahal, 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 all of these little wadis coming out of this area. And so kind of mountain streams that are flowing downward. And then we've got Hayarden, and then Hayaor, so we can see how those are spelled. So the article in front of them, we can take that off or put it on, but knowing that Yarden, Yaor is the actual name of those.
Wait,
Uh,
what was Yaor?
Yaor is Nile.
Nile. I cannot remember that. Yaor. Okay.
I have a hard time with that one.
Oh, this
I
one.
mean, it's not even close.
Yeah. And then I wanted to go over some like common ones that we often get confused with each other. So some of these were ones that I was trying to come up with, but if you have any others to add to my list, we can do those as well. So we've got Tov and Tav. So what's the difference? Which one is which? Tov, Tav.
Ov is good.
Mm-hmm.
Tav is t.
Yep. So Tov is good and Tav is the letter of the alphabet. And then we've got 3 words that are often confused for each other. We've got Shemaim, Shataim, and Shanaim. So what's the difference between those 3?
Shamaim is the sky.
Mhm.
Shataim number 2.
Mhm.
And what was the other one?
Shanaim.
It's the
Nine.
masculine of 2.
Uh-huh.
Isn't it?
Good job.
Yeah, so as we're counting, we have both a feminine and a masculine. And so we count in feminine just kind of by default, but the Shanaim is the masculine version of number 2.
Yeah.
Then we already talked about Yam and Yom. So Yom is day and Yam is sea. And then the one that's probably the the most confusing. Each group that I've ever helped with these is always getting these ones convoluted. That's the wrong word. Mixed up or strand. Let me pull up I should have wrote down which quiz this was from. 11?
Banim.
Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so e-
Ohole Avraham.
I'm gonna try to get it so that the three that I'm wanting to look at are all on the same screen.
Okay.
But yeah,
Ohole Avraham.
Ohole Avraham.
It's the
So
tense.
what is the grammar rule that lets us know Ohole? So is it singular or plural? And is it masculine or feminine?
That is plural masculine.
Uh-huh. So Ohole, all A's come from an im. A im
Oh, yeah.
turns to A in the construct form. And so we can know that an im is a plural masculine. So Ohole Avraham.
Suse Yosef.
Say Yosef. So again, all A's come from ims, so we're looking for a plural masculine, right?
Yeah. Plural horse.
Banot.
The house.
So banot is going to be daughters.
I always confuse that with house.
Yep.
I don't know why I do that, but
And that's the
Hare
did the same.
Yehuda.
Ahare.
Anshe Yisrael. Beit
The people of
Yosef.
Israel.
Bait. That's a house.
I,
No.
yeah, they,
Yeah,
the
house, right?
Uh-huh. So yeah, do we got banot? Well, let's just do it on this screen. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get all of them on the same exact one, but so we've got children or sons of somebody in its construct form, which is b'nai, because it comes from banim. All A's come from im. B'nai David, b'nai Israel. And then we've got bate David, b'nai bate. So that's the trick that I want us to get to is taking the A sound that's at the end and working it backward. So A comes from im. And so if we've got b'nai, we're going to be coming from banim. And if we've got bate, we're going to be coming from batim. And so it's really tricky because they're so dang close to each other. B'nai Israel, Batei Israel. And then we've got Batei and Banot, which are often confused. And do you remember the singular, this one down here, the singular construct form of a house?
Bayit.
That would be singular, and then put it in its construct form.
Habayit.
Is it bait?
Beit. So Bait turns to Beit Yosef, and then plural, Batim turns to Batei David. So anytime that we have that A, we know that we're talking plural because it comes from an im. Yeah, I think construct forms are kind of the hardest part, and that's why it's always good to kind of come back to lesson 11. I guess I need to memorize which number that is, but review that often.
That's really good idea.
Beit Yosef.
So let me just kind of work our way through the quiz really quick, and then on the final screen, let's go through all of the different ones together.
Beit Yosef. Nashim. Parat Yosef. Bate David.
Okay.
Good job.
So now that we've got all of these on the screen, if it has an arrow, it's going to be a construct form. If it's got a box, it's not going to be in its construct form. So let's start here with Achat. So how would we say this one?
Susay, Yosef.
Susay Yosef. And we can say any person because I sometimes I have a trouble remembering which one they put there. Susay Yosef.
He does
So
have a crown.
yep. Yeah. So we've got Sus, Sus, Susim, and then we're doing it construct. So we go the im turns to a, Susay Yosef. How do we say this one?
Oholei,
Ohole Avraham.
Abra.
Okay.
So Ohel, Ohel, Oholim, or Oholim? Ohalim, yeah. Ohalim. And then Ohole Avram. All right, so this one's not in a construct form because they're in a box.
So Benim.
Mhm.
B'nai
So,
B'nai Abraham.
so if it's in a box, it's not going to be construct. And so we're just going to talk about sons without any reference to anyone else. So this one,
Benim.
we've got Ben, Ben, Banim.
Yeah, Benim Abraham.
B'nai Avraham. And then here we've got lots of people. So we're,
Anashi.
yeah,
Turns to Anashi.
Anachim Ishmael.
Anashe Israel.
Well,
So we've got some ishas and some ishas. And so the plural would be anashim. All ims turn to a in the construct form. So anashe Israel.
So Anashim, Anashe Yisrael.
Yep. And so we've got har,
That's mountain,
har.
huh?
Hare,
Mhm,
Israel. Or no, Yehuda.
Yep, of Judah. So we've got har, harim, hare Yehuda.
Hare.
It's in its construct form. Okay, so these are in a box. There's not going to be a construct form.
So it's
Batim.
our team.
No,
Abraham.
what is it? I can't
There's
think of the.
Banot,
Oh,
isn't it?
good job.
Banot. So what is batim?
That's the boys or
No.
sons, I mean. No? Ah. Oh, that's the that's the houses?
Yep,
Okay.
houses. It's so
what?
hard to tell the difference between them or get confused, isn't it?
Ah.
Yep. So we've got banim, which is sons. We've got
Banim.
batim, which is houses, and we've got daughters, which is banot.
Banot.
Yep. They're
And
often confused.
remind me the construct form of banot. I can't think of what the oat turns into.
So I'll do it in its
Okay.
regular form first, and then we'll do it in its construct form after. So we go banot, bnot,
Oh,
banot, bnot. So we're getting rid of the first vowel when it's in its construct form.
okay.
And so that's with the plural feminine. Gets rid of the first vowel.
Okay.
All right. So singular feminine,
Parat.
parat. So para, singular feminine, puts a t at the end. Parat Yosef. So what would be the regular non-construct form of plural cows?
Parot.
Parot. And what would be the construct form of the same plural cows?
Porot? No.
Yeah, porot.
Is it? So that's how you do it with like pretty much every word, is you just put a shava
Probably should.
on
Uh-huh.
the front vowel?
Yeah, you get rid of the first vowel when it's the feminine plural.
Okay, I had forgotten that. Nashim?
So we've got the box around it, so it's not construct. So nashim.
I can't remember the construct. Nashim?
So im turns to
Nashe?
nashe. Yep.
Okay. It's
So
a,
even though im is a masculine, women and goats are the exceptions to the rule, right? And so
I always knew it, we were an exception.
yeah, you get your own special grammar. It's fun. So let's walk through, because this is one of the most confusing ones, I think, to go through. So a singular non-construct form of wife is isha. And so when they're plural non-construct,
Nashim.
nashim. So isha turns to nashim. So a singular construct form of wife,
Eshet?
eshet. So isha puts the t at the end, just like parat. So isha, eshet. And then nashim in a construct would be nashe, David. So im turns to a, the construct. Yeah, it's kind of hard. All right, and here's our favorite one.
Bait,
Bait. So,
And
and then with the construct form,
Bait.
Beit Yosef. Yep, so just like Beit Lehi for the house of Lehi, which we've heard a lot about lately. And then here, plural construct,
Bate?
Bate David, the houses of David. So singular, non-construct, Bait, and then plural, Batim. Im turns to a, Bate David. And then the singular construct, bait. Bite turns to bait. Yeah, some fun
don't think
ones.
I get
That's
that
a-
down.
Yeah, that's a really good review. Yeah.
Because just wait, it starts playing in even more on the homework for this week. So, well, I think it might be the week after.
Hmm.
So let's take a look at for this week. We have got, oop, went too far. Week 11. Yeah, so we just barely did our second time through week 10. And so we're going to do week 11 this time. And so we're watching lesson 15, 14, 15, and then we start getting into 16. So yeah, it's not going to be this week that you're going to have the headache, but this next week we're going to be reviewing those things that we've just done today and then learning a little bit more of the alphabet. So it should be a fairly easy workload, I would think. And then the week after that, oh, the week after that's pretty easy too. So that week 12 is basically just like the big cram review. So
Or-
you're just going back and listening to lesson 8, lesson 9, lesson 11, and doing lots of quizzes and things. But then
Before they launch into the
yeah, week 13 is wild. So 17 and 18, we're gonna get some fun stuff. But anytime that you like during week 11 and 12, that you're like, oh yeah, I can handle a little bit more, you might want to pop ahead to those so that it's not just all in one week. But teach their own with that. But yeah, any questions before we head on out? The next 2 weeks should be somewhat easier of a workload, but after that, it gets kind of tricky.
You're always so funny. Up to this fun.
Yeah. Be good to do a lot of review.
Mhm. Yeah, because we've got
Yeah.
a lot of stuff coming at us, don't we?
And of course, we have nothing else to do as women.
Yep. And we're just trying to press clear up until lesson 20, because at lesson 20, we're going to pop back and really dive into the grammar lessons. And get some of those concepts down. That'll be fun to go back and review some of those.
Yeah, get it known to my brain.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well,
One minute you understand, and the next minute it's all gone.
Oh, exactly.
exactly.
Goes right over your head.
Yep. And there's sometimes it's just like, now I know that I've watched the video, but I cannot remember anything anymore. Yep.
Exactly. Awesome.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Thank
All right.
you.
Well, shalom for another week. We'll see y'all
Yeah,
later.
Tודה. Shalom.